So, hello everyone, a very warm welcome to all of you on Ecoholic YouTube channel that is there to cater the needs of RBI Grade B, Grade A aspirants. Now, before I begin with today's live session, you must have seen the thumbnail of this live session. So, now just imagine the process, okay? Whatever we are having at this point of time, you are having this lap system you must be watching this thing on YouTube, okay? Then you must be having your mobile phone. One must be seeing it or watching it via TV or any other sources. You must be having groceries in your kitchen. Yeah? I'm just trying to say that there are multiple things that are surrounding you, and each and everything you purchased from the market. Okay. Now, everything must have been got produced somewhere, then it got transported, and then it came to you. Now you are having it in your homes. But why I am discussing all these things out of blue, that too in a beginning of live session, because the reason behind it that our today's live session is going to get oriented in that way only. We are going to see the importance of logistics, why logistics sector is extremely important for our economy, and what government has done to improve. Recently, government has taken a big step to improve the logistics sectors of our country. So, in that context, we will be having our today's live session. And that is the reason that even from the starting, from this live session, we had a discussion. You must be thinking, sir, ye kya baat kar rahe hain, sir? Yes, we are having grocery and we are having laptop. So, what does that mean? The reality is that whatever we are having at this point of time, I'm having this system, I'm having this laptop with me, I'm having this lighting with me. And the reality is that whatever we are having at this point of time is getting transported from somewhere to us. And this is the fundamental thing that logistic is. Logistic is what? Transportation of commodities from one place to other place. This is what logistic is. And now you know the importance. Okay? You must have heard recently when the this tariff whole tariff scenario happened. At that time as well, whenever the now this tariff things came, okay, that was the reason behind it, the so-called reason behind these tariffs were to stop India buying oil from Russia. That was the reason. If in some scenarios, if India would have stopped buying oil from Russia, then what, you must have the idea that it must have impacted our inflation. Okay? Things start becoming expensive. Why so? Okay? Because India is now, I'm just trying to elaborate you the importance of logistic, है ना? If logistics becomes expensive, if the charges you are paying to transport one commodity from one place to other place, now it might be via airway, it might be via shipment through ships, it might be via rail network, it might be via road transport network. But if logistics prices increases, it is going to increase the commodity prices as well. Because if you see, if someone is producing a product for 2 rupees, then that person, if that person is producing that thing in Mumbai, then you are living in Bhopal, then it must getting transported from Mumbai to Bhopal via any mean, you know? And if the logistic charges will increase, so eventually the prices of products and commodities will also increase. And this is where the, you can say, the importance of logistics comes in existence. It is extremely important, you know? Even if you are able to produce the things at the lower cost, but if you are paying too much on your logistics, then eventually it is going to impact your final product price. This is the importance of logistic. And let me tell you, uh, we will see the recent data as well, but it cost us around 13 to 14% of our GDP. Logistic cost of our India is around 13 to 14% of our GDP. That is the huge market logistics sector is having. And from this data only you can have an idea that what is the importance of logistics sector. Okay, now what I said, why we are having this live session, because today we will see that what is that big next step that our government has taken to improve our logistics sectors. Okay, we will see that in detail, and eventually you will got to know that how government is thinking to improve the logistics sectors, because logistics is something that is extremely important for any economy, even for the service economy, for the agricultural economy, or for the manufacturing economy, industrial economy. For every kind of economic sector, logistic act as a backbone. So we will see that. Okay, just allow me a minute, let me present my screen to you people, and then we will go ahead with our discussion. So I hope the screen must be visible to you people now. Now let's begin with our discussion. So logistic data bank. The thing is that we will be discussing today is the logistic data bank powering India's logistic revolution for competitive economy. Now see, competitive economy is the something, because in the last live session only, we were talking about the importance of export, how export helps our economy. So even for the export, if you want to be competitive in nature, if you want that your exports, your commodity prices in abroad be competitive in nature, then you should be having proper logistics, because that is the thing that can impact your commodity prices ext- in an extreme way. Okay, now we will see what is this logistic data bank is all about. So first of all, who launched this data bank? So sir, this data bank got launched by the Union Minister of Commerce and Industry, Shri Piyush Goyal. So obviously logistics comes under the ambit of Ministry of Commerce and Industries. So that ministry only launched this data bank. Now on the occasion of decade-long celebration of Make in India, okay, Make in India got launched in the year 2015. This year was 2025. So it's been a decade-long time. Okay. So for in that celebration, ministers released this particular data bank. The purpose was to boost supply chain efficiency and export competitiveness. As I told you, export is something that we do. Now what we were discussing in our previous live session, that if India wants to achieve its big targets, its ambitious targets, India wants to become a 5 trillion economy, 7 trillion economy by 2030, by 2047. If an economy wants to achieve that kind of stature, then only depending on domestic demand and domestic consumption is not going to be enough. You will be required to cater the need of global people, global citizens. Uh, you will be required to cater the need of abroads. Okay, and when we'll talk about the foreign you can say the foreign businesses, it's all about export. So eventually, if you see, we want to improve exports. That's why last session we saw that government came up with the improvement policy or export improvement mission. Now logistic is something you might be having an idea, sir, logistic और export तो बहुत अलग चीजें हैं सर, ये कैसे relate हो पाती है? No बच्चा, it is going to get relate. Now just imagine a situation that you are producing a pen for rupees 10. China is also producing a pen for rupees 10. But China is transporting the logistics, or the China is transporting that particular pen via ship from China to US market at a lower cost. But India is not having that much proficient logistics with them. They are um, they are transporting the same thing on a higher cost. So eventually in US market, your product is going to be on a higher end. with with they will be having more expensive things. Okay, your pen is going to be more expensive because your logistics are expensive. So if you see, all these things are interconnected. That's why I took this particular live session. I picked up this topic after our Friday's live session. Okay, that logistics depends on export. Sorry, export depends on logistics, and eventually if we'll do better in our exports, if we'll do well in our exports, eventually our economy will grow. And eventually if our economy will grow, it is going to impact each and every individual of our citizens, है ना? So you might be thinking, sir, logistics ये हमको सर उतना डायरेक्टली कैसे इम्पैक्ट करता है? Just for an example, just take an example that India stops buying cheap oil from Russia. Now India starts buying oil from US. that too on a expensive rate. ठीक है. Earlier, because of that, diesel prices get increased. Earlier, at this point of time, I think it is around 99. Now it's went to 150. ठीक है. Now see, the vegetable of yours that you are consuming on a daily basis, it is also getting transported from one place to another place. The grocery we are utilizing in our kitchens, that is also getting transported from producer to you, that is consumer. So if the fuel prices will increase, then eventually your product prices will also increase. So logistics is extremely important, and all these things are interconnected in any economy. This is the reason that we need to discuss these kind of things in detail. Moving ahead, sir. Okay, sir, we got to know the importance of logistics, and Indian government came up with this bank as well. But sir, let me please tell us what is the key issues, why we need such kind of things. You told us the importance of logistics, sir. We got it. You also told us that government is coming up with this initiative. We also acknowledge that thing as well. But sir, why do we need such kind of things? The reason behind these things are this. Now discuss that thing as well. Because of high logistic cost, at this point of time as well, our cost remains 14 to 18% of GDP, and the global benchmark is around 8% only. So see, we are having more than double, yes, approximately double expenses we are having on our logistics. So obviously, eventually, it is going to impact our economy. We are having modal imbalances, freight movement. If you see, there are multiple kind of modes via which you can do your logistics. We have road transportation, we have railways, we have shipments, we have air cargo. But at this point of time, we are having imbalance in the utilization of these different modes. Okay, we are having imbalances. We are utilizing heavily the roadway transports, but we are not utilizing the potential of shipments. Even the inland waterways, that the inland waterways are the waterways that we have on our major rivers, we are not utilizing, we are not exploiting the potential of these things. We are having infrastructure deficit and project delays as well. We are having regulatory fragmentation and compliance complexities. If you see, multiple ministries governs the logistic. Ministry of Heavy Industry is something that they deals with the trucks and the heavy vehicles, that is buses, that is there for logistics. Then we have Ministry of Science and Technology. Okay. Now, sir, how science and technology is involved? Now, see, EV penetration is happening in our country. So for that particular thing, we must be relying on the batteries. Now, all these things comes under the ambit of Ministry of this Ministry of Heavy Industries, and then Ministry of Chemical and others, and chemical and fertilizers. So logistics sector is something that is dependent on multiple ministries, and that is the reason we are seeing the regulatory fragmentation and compliance complexities. So that is the reason, one of the reasons that our logistics sector is suffering. Now we have digital divides and low tech penetration. The utilization of, you can say, the technology or the digital means in our logistics sector is minimum at this point of time, and that is one of the issues. Skilling and workforce challenges. Our workforce is not having that kind of skill set so that we can be there, so that we can provide better logistics sectors. Even if we'll come up with a better technology in the logistics sectors, the skill force and the workforce challenges that we will be seeing is going to be on another level. So that is also one of the issues. Sustainability and environmental concern. You must have seen that the that government is trying to increase the penetration of electric buses, electric trucks. What is the reason behind it? Because we are highly dependent, we are heavily dependent on the diesel or the non or the fossil fuel based transportation methods. That is the reason government is trying to improve the penetration of electric buses, electric trucks in our country. Okay? So that is the reason. So these are the major key issues that we are having at this point of time in our logistics sector, and that is the reason government has came up with the logistic data bank. Now let's see what are the key features. So first of all, who developed this? So it got developed by the NICDC, Logistic Data Services. Do remember it? Okay. Purpose is, what is the purpose? Purpose is to upgrade it national logistic tracking system with enhanced visibility and integration. So you would be able to track your trucks, you would be able to track your logistics where it is, है ना? I mean that too with the transparently. Key features are high seas container tracking. Now your containers, they are getting transported from seas, है ना, from one place to another place. Now you can track your consignment, your shipment. Multimodal visibility, you can track these things, you can have an enhanced visibility of your logistics even if they are getting transported via roads, rails, sea, via containers, trucks, trailer, etc. So it is going to give you a wide range of visibility. Integration with ULIP, ठीक है? ULIP stands for Unified Logistic Interface Platform. So now your logistic data will get shared via Unified Logistic Interface platform. Now that it is a platform that is there, ठीक है? From that platform you can have an access of all the transportation or logistic system that is available in your area, ठीक है? Their charges and etc. Live container heat map. Now it displays container distribution to detect regional imbalance and bottlenecks, ठीक है? So these are the purposes. Actually in real, if you'll ask me, sir, in crux what is this thing is all about. So it is a portal, it is a data bank that provides you tracking of your shipment on a, that too on a live basis, ठीक है? You will get proper visibility of your shipment, where your shipment is, in how much time it will be coming reaching to you, ठीक है? And it is going to cover everything. It is going to cover the different modes of visibility, with different mode of shipments, with different mode of logistics, ठीक है? It is going to, let it be the high seas or let it be the roads or rail network or truck network, it is going to cover everything. It is going to get data from the unified logistic interface platform as well as you will get the live container heat map, so that you can see that okay, these are the areas that are dominating in nature, ठीक है? We need to improve this particular shipment area, we need to improve this particular road transportation area, we need to work on this rail network because these are the areas that are getting utilized more. So it is going to provide you a comprehensive overview of your logistic ecosystem. Then why does it matter? So obviously it is going to boost your export competitiveness. Very normal thing, ठीक है? When your logistic will improve, your transportation charges will get reduced and eventually your products will become cheaper. So it is going to boost your export competitiveness, and it is going to empower MSMEs and startups as well, because if you see now major players that is there in your businesses, in your economy, they can, even if they can sustain the high charges of logistics, but micro, small and medium enterprises, startups, okay, they always have a deficit of working capital, okay, they struggles for the working capital. And even in that case, if they will be they will get overburdened by the expensive logistic charges, then obviously it is going to impact them negatively. So it is going to empower the MSMEs and startups, so now they will be utilizing the cheaper logistic sectors, okay, logistic means, and that is the reason they will become competitive in nature with the other major players of the economy. And the obviously MSME is having a huge contribution. Now you see, around 33, more than one third of our export is coming from the MSME only, okay? So obviously when exports, the logistics will improve, MSMEs will improve, the performance of MSMEs will improve, they will get empowered, eventually your export will get improved, eventually your economy prospers, okay? Other important points, you must have seen that in the initials of the discussion we discussed that the we are having, at this point of time, we are having a high logistic cost in our country, that is 14 to 18% of GDP. But recently government came up with the data, and this data, let me tell you, got released in the month of September only, this month only, okay? What is this data? Now this was India's first official estimate that what is the share of logistics in our GDP. Earlier we are having an idea that we might be having around 14 to 18% of GDP, okay? But recently the first ever official estimate has came up from the government, and what it's tell that we are having only 7.9%, 7.97% of GDP. Our logistics are having a share of 7.97% of GDP only. Earlier, you saw that we were having an ideal 14 to 18% is there. So, and global benchmark is 8%. But reality is that the total share of logistics is only 7.97% of GDP, and we are at par with the global average of global cost of 8%. So that's a great news. Methodology, they used the secondary data, they used the large scale nationwide surveys, they did everything. So basically, it was a hybrid approach. You don't need to know about the approach and all. Just do remember this, that the estimate is 7.97% of GDP. Okay? So it shows that our logistics sectors has improved a lot, and now we are at par with the global benchmark of 8%. Okay? Do remember this thing. I have just added because this is happening for the very first time, and that's why it becomes important. Okay? Now, thank you so much. This is it for today's live session. Now, if you want to get this data for free of cost, you can download it from our Ecoholics app. Okay? And do subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so that whenever we go live, you can have a notification with yourself. And if you have any kind of doubt, any kind of query in regards to any paid data or field data that we provide, you can reach out at this number, and each and every query of yours will get sorted out with our from our experienced academic counselors. Till then, have a great day ahead. Bye.